Lindsay.
And I'm Becca.
And we are best friends of
10 years?
11 years? 12 years?
11 years maybe.
I was like 12 and a half. Like, I was like 12 and 3/4 when I met you.
What?
Yeah. Okay, we became best friends when I was like 13, though. 13 and a half.
Like 10-ish years?
Yeah,
but
like
then
10, 11 years now.
Like a
but
little bit of break.
but then we had a little bit of break in between. So today we are headed to Cold Spring, and it's our first time taking the train out of the city, and we just thought we'd have fun and also talk about friendship and friendship breakups and friendship reuniting. So I actually prepared a few questions from ChatGPT, and I thought it would be fun to kind of ask them throughout the day, and we can kind of interview each other. So let's start off with some pretty like lighthearted ones. I think the first one it said is, which word best describes our relationship? For me, the first word that comes to mind is sister.
Oh, I had the same exact word. Okay,
sister.
Sister.
Because we are both Taiwanese American. Like, we have so many similar experiences growing up, or because she's my oldest friend. Like, we went through puberty together.
Yeah.
Like, we grew up together.
Yeah, I had the same word. Like, when I think about all our experiences together, and like funny and there's sad moments too. We just experienced like so much together, like years together. So I feel like the type of friendship we have now, it's so comfortable. Like it's not like exciting anymore, right? Because I know everything about her. It's not like, but it's like a sister because we're so comfortable, and I feel like she's
bitch,
someone
I think
that
we're here.
Oh,
We're at Cold Spring.
Let's go. So we'll see you.
We are at the Foundry Rose, which is a cafe in Cold Spring, and we didn't finish our last answers.
I was rudely interrupted by the train coming to Cold Spring, so we're like so comfortable. Like we can be butt-ass naked with each other, and then we've had fights, not like terrible fights, but like sisters, we've had like falling outs.
Fight, and then you come back together,
so sisterhood.
And it's like no time has passed.
Yeah, and I feel like with her, I can trust her with anything. Like she will be there at my lowest. I can tell her anything. She's my sister, Okay, yeah.
We're also like an Asian family, so physical affection is not always natural.
Okay, Next question. How did you meet and how did you become friends?
Okay, so we met in 8th grade. We went to an arts high school. Do you remember like meeting me for the first time?
I don't remember meeting you, but I remember like because you were like a new student, and I remember we were in like class, like art class. I remember we had to draw like a still life. And then after we drew it, we like walked around to see everyone's, right?
Yeah.
I just remember looking at yours and being like, this bitch kind of good. You know what I mean? I was like a little threatened because we took it very seriously, right? And I was like, oh, she's good. And that was kind of it. That was my first impression of you. Like, she had, like, long hair. She was a little quiet, But I don't remember exactly when we became friends and how. Like, I don't remember our first conversation.
Well, it was 9th grade. We did a ceramics class together. So when we did ceramics class together, that was, like, the first time that we got to all interact, and we had to sculpt together, essentially. And we sat around a table, like, almost like family style. And yeah, we just became really close. I almost have a feeling it's because of like speaking a little bit of Mandarin with each other and being like, oh, like she speaks Mandarin.
Yeah.
And I feel like pretty freaking quickly, like you became my best friend.
I think so
at
too.
School.
Yeah, I just remember 9th grade for sure. We got really close.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it was just onwards from there.
I'm just a little quiet when you first meet me, but once you open me up,
I'm the same way. I'm the same way.
Okay, cool. Next question. What's your favorite or funniest memories in high school?
I feel like we had a lot of inside jokes.
We had a lot, but I don't remember a lot of them.
So, okay, one of them I remember is that I used to buy these animal crackers from Trader Joe's.
I was about to say that one.
Yeah. Anyway,
when we explain it, it's not that funny, but
at the time we thought it was fucking hilarious.
It was hilarious to us because we were doing AP art.
Yeah, we were doing AP art history. I do have a journal. It wasn't between just us two. There was also another person that wrote in this journal, but it pretty much spans from 8th 8th grade. Yeah, so I think
To,
8th
like,
grade
senior
to senior
year.
year. And like a little bit beyond, actually.
Yeah,
We
actually,
started
yeah.
writing in it in
In
college as
college,
well,
but then
but
we
we've
stopped.
stopped because we kind of like lost touch and weren't seeing each other that
Yeah, it
often.
was hard to because like it was a journal that we'll like pass around. So
Yeah.
it was really fun. Like,
Yeah, and it has like a lot of our old memories. There's actually
Yeah.
a lollipop stick that is still in there that I ate in like sophomore year and I shoved in
Yeah.
there and I was like, this is gonna be like memes one
Yeah,
day.
we'll
This is
just
gonna
like
be
glue
like,
shit in
yeah,
there. Yeah, but now I have the book and it's like falling apart. It's like an old
yeah,
journal, but
old
it's
Daiso
a
notebooks.
very like valuable like sentimental thing because I
Yeah,
don't think a lot of people
people,
have that and
yeah,
pull
yeah.
through with that for so many
Yeah, you
years.
have
You
like
know.
photos and whatnot, but you don't have like written thoughts between friends.
Oh.
Okay, food's here. Let's eat.
We got some.
Yes, I got myself a lavender matcha at a local coffee shop.
Okay, what are some qualities that you value most in a friend? I mean,
In a friend or as you as a friend?
this says
A friend? I think communication, trust, vibes. Yeah, just communication in general. I think it's important to be open and honest about how you're feeling and what your needs are. As with any kind of relationship, you know, we talk about it in romantic relationships so much to talk about what you need, but like not enough people talk about telling your friends what you need.
I feel like showing up is so important. Like, I try my best because I have so many friendships and so many of them are long distance. I feel so bad when it's like someone's birthday or someone's graduation. I feel so bad that I'm not there. But at least like I'll like gift them a small gift card or like just say something or just even remembering important dates for people. Or like
Yeah.
if I had something, I would like people to like show up. I think that showing your support means any like that's actually genuine friendship.
For sure, yeah. Support, celebrating their wins. I actually just made a video, but it's not out yet. Maybe it'll be out when this comes out. But I just made a video about like chicken soup friends.
Oh, yes.
And chicken soup
mention.
friends. I think, yeah, it's not just about showing up like during like happy times, but also when, you know, they're struggling and not just, you know, saying, oh, I hope you feel better, but like actually putting in your best effort, whatever that may be, to show up for them and to like actually make sure that they feel cared for. I think that's really important.
What was the lowest point of your friendship, and did resolving it make you stronger as friends or require both to adapt in some way?
Oh, we just went in deep now. Okay, well, I guess we should share what our lowest point in our friendship was.
The difference in our personality is like Z is very like mature, collected. Like even at her young age, she seems really like older. She always has her shit together, you know.
Seemingly so.
Seemingly so. And then for me, I'm a little bit more. I don't even know. Like
I think you seek a little chaos.
maybe. So it's like that's our dynamic. But I think at one point it started to kind of butt heads because we're so close that I felt like she was kind of like a mother, and you'll kind of scold me a little bit.
I feel like, why are you doing these
Yeah.
things? They're so
She's
silly.
my best friend. She's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, why are you being silly, basically?" But for me, I see it as like lighthearted almost. But I guess she cares about, you know, how I'm doing, if I'm getting hurt. So I think in some ways that caused a little bit more friction. It's up in me, a little bit of like more like, I don't want to say resentment, but a little bit. And also, I think just coming from like a place of insecurity too. It was kind of blurry. Honestly, I just was like a little bit upset.
Yeah, it was just like one day you were there and we made that one TikTok and then I just never heard from you again for like 3 months. And I was like, damn, where'd she go?
Yeah, I think I kind of started to distance myself from Z a bit because of like a lot of things I was going through internally, but also just feeling like there was a bit of tension in our like friendship. But again, it's not anything like big that happened. It was just built up. I went missing for a bit, and then you know I was also busy. Then I came back because it was getting close to her birthday, and I was like, oh shoot, like I didn't even trust it. We had a call where in the call I was basically telling her like sometimes I don't feel like understood, supported in certain ways. I think we're so different, like the way we grew up too. your mother. Like, you are such a image of your mother sometimes. So it was that, and then I think she also felt the same way, where sometimes I wouldn't show up how she wanted, and it just resulted in us being like really like, we cried or talked for like I think 2-3 hours, but it resulted in like just tension that I think it resulted in 2 to 3 years of not talking to each other.
I was so hurt by her like ghosting me essentially, and for her it didn't seem like a big deal because I think she was just like going through her own emotions. But then for me, people like disappearing from my life or kind of like just like leaving me behind is another trauma. I'm gonna let this car pass.
It makes a lot of sense now that we reconnected.
Yeah, because when we finally reconnected 3 years later and we were talking about it, I was like, yeah, you know, you ghosted me for 3 months and it really hurt me, and I felt like, you know, I didn't have anyone there for me anymore, and so like that like was very like deep rooted. And for her, she was like, oh, I just thought I would like take a break, you know. And that's why I think communication is so important though, because had she been like, you know, hey, I just need to take a break for 3 months, like of course it would have hurt, but I feel like I would have had a timeline in my head to kind of look forward to. But because I didn't, it just felt like I was like dropped in a black hole or like at the deep end, and like I was drowning in a way, figuratively.
Like abandoned.
Yeah, abandoned, exactly.
You know, that's happened before for her.
Yeah.
It is like a scary trauma, and I didn't realize that. And when I brought up my issues, and then she was kind of like, hey, I don't know if we can be friends, I took it very personally of like, oh, I just told you my issues with you, and then now you're turning people on me and saying like, you don't want to be friends, you know. So I thought like, oh, like she
not willing to put in the work
exactly.
anymore.
I didn't see it from a place of hurt. I saw it as a, oh, Z's being like petty.
Petty,
like,
yeah.
She's being like, so I think it was just miscommunication.
It was a culmination of a lot of different things.
We reach out for 2-3 years because I was just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. We were just like, oh, well, like I've already been 3 months without you. I can just keep doing it. And then we just kind of kept doing that
time, I felt like you were thriving with like new friends. You were getting so I saw it as like, oh, she doesn't need me anymore, right?
Yeah.
So I took it really the wrong way again. But when I would tell people like, yeah, Z and I are not cool like that anymore, everyone was so shocked.
Everyone was like, oh, like that's crazy. People were so shocked that we weren't friends anymore.
So I think it did make us stronger because that's a huge conflict, right? And it requires an insane amount of trust to reconnect as friends. And that trust of like, I will never abandon you again.
For sure. And I also feel like it added this new layer to our friendship where before maybe we didn't know how to communicate with each other in tough situations where we feel tension with the other person because we hadn't gone through things like that before. And so now that we've been through that experience, I think if we ever had those feelings again, we'd be able to communicate those things a lot more easily. Because it wouldn't be like, oh, like I've never felt this way before. Like, do you just like hate me now? Like kind of thing. Yeah,
I think we're like really more in tune too with each other's personalities and like past experiences, past trauma, what triggers each other. I know like what, I hear her stories and her issues and her thoughts. I'm like, oh, okay, like she's been hurt this way, and this is her trauma. This is why she feels this way and reacts this way. But I think we needed that
space to grow without each other, because I feel like because we did middle school, high school together, and we were all moving at the same pace. I think there was this feeling of like, if we're not moving at the same pace, then one person is going faster or one person's behind. And I think taking a bit of a break was really healthy.
Growing up, we did the exact same things. We won the exact same awards. Like that jealousy in a friend is very ugly because I didn't want to feel that way towards a friend. It's very hard when you're so close. So I think having that time apart allowed us to do our own things away from each other and find ourselves away from each other. And allowed me to like just confidently grow into the person I kind of wanted to be or closer to what I had in mind. And then now coming together, better together, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Needed, actually.
Yay. So now we are going to answer the next question. What's one thing that you admire most about me, and how has that trait influenced our friendship?
So, one thing I admire most about Z is she's very. There's a lot. Like, she's very courageous.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like when you start tattooing, like that requires a lot
I
of courage.
guess.
But also,
Yeah.
she's very like a go-getter. Like she has like that confidence to just do things, right? She's like, all right, I want to make YouTube videos. She makes YouTube videos, and then I want to tattoo. Okay, she tattoos. And so watching her do that gave me like strength and courage to do so myself. She's very productive, I think. I don't know, you just get a lot of shit done.
I hear that a lot.
Yeah,
honestly.
like,
that's
how-
probably like the number one thing people say about
I
me.
only have so much time. Like another thing is like as a friend, she's a very like genuine friend. You really show up and you really think about others. You really are present in friendships or try to show up for people. You're a chicken noodle soup friend, and so I think that's recipe for a long-lasting friendship. You know, and that's why we were friends for so long. I personally, all my friends are people that I really admire, and I think that everyone has such different strengths and something that I can learn from. So I feel like Z is one of my good friends because I see so much of her strengths, and I can learn from that, and I can grow alongside that. So that's how it influenced our friendship. Yeah,
I love
and
that.
grow with you.
Okay, so my turn. I would say that Becca, since we met when we were 13, well, I mean, we used to joke that you're like the crybaby because I don't think there was a single day in high school where I did not see your eyes tear up or like, I don't know, like you're always crying, like whether it's out of joy, funny, sad, anger, frustration,
emotions.
everything leads to your eyes like watering. And I grew up as someone that wasn't very emotional, and I don't feel like that was very fostered in my family. And I feel like watching you be able to be so emotional and vulnerable opened up a space for me to like also be very vulnerable. Like that's why I feel like out of everyone I can tell you
you're so
anything.
close to me.
Yeah, like I can tell you anything.
Yeah.
And I feel like you have the empathy like in your heart. Like your eyes would water for me, you know? Like you are like, I can see it. Like it's almost like when I tell you something, that emotion that I feel inside is reflected on your face because you're so like your face is so open. It's like a mirror almost.
Oh yeah, I hear that a lot. That I have a very
Yeah.
transparent face.
I really admire your vulnerability, and then it's affected me because it helped me open up. And
Wow.
maybe like I don't know, I definitely don't cry that much.
Yeah,
Anyway, like I
rarely
really
see you
don't. I don't
cry,
know
yeah.
why. Like I want to be able to, but I just don't. But at least I feel like there's a safe space to do so. So yeah.
Wow, I like the answer. I mean, I've gotten similar-ish, but it's like refreshing to hear.
We are at our final stop now. We are sitting by the waterside, so we thought we'd answer the last question here.
The last question is, what are your hopes and dreams for our friendship in the next 10 years?
10 years, wow.
So we'll be...
I'll be 34. My hopes and dreams is that we'll be living in the same place again. I think in the next few years, like the next 2 to 5 years, we might be in
apart.
different areas again. And I think we're just gonna have to navigate that as that comes. But I think in 10 years, I really do hope that we will be back in the same place. Ideally, California.
Ideally California, but
If
ooh.
I feel like we're gonna be able to do more trips like this. I'd love to do more road trips with you and just like more adventurous things because today was really awesome. I feel like
was
today was
super fun.
bonding in a
Yeah.
way, you know? Like
Yeah.
instead of just seeing each other for like a few hours here and there and then heading back to our own place,
Yeah.
like I feel like this was a nice change of pace for us as well as friends.
Yeah. I mean, last time we went to Flushing and that was also really fun. And I feel like you're one of the few friends I can do that with without like putting so much pressure on someone, you know, like a
Yeah.
newer friend being like, hey, come with me to Beacon or whatever.
Yeah, and you feel like you need to entertain
Yeah,
them the
but
whole
I feel
time.
like you're very down, like, to try new things, go to new
Yeah.
places. And in our New York era, it's nice that we're exploring, like, the surrounding area together. Next 10 years, I want to say the same. I think we both wanted to be in California, and it'll be nice to, like be adults there together. But I don't know. Who knows what's going to
who
happen?
knows? That's my hope and dream, though.
Ideally, alongside that, if I did have a partner, like, we can all get along, like the four of us, that'll be really cute.
Yeah, I
you
would
know,
love
like,
to have like where our partners are also friends with each other
and we can, like,
all hang out.
all hang out.
And you might have a dog or cat
Yeah.
or something like that.
Board game nights.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I see Z and Omer as like my family, and I see Omer as like such a permanent person that's gonna stay in our lives. Like I accepted that, and like he is gonna be my family growing up too, you know. And
for
like,
sure. We're gonna watch
so-
each other grow old.
yeah, so it's like, okay, this is my family, and I hope to expand that, and like we can like grow together and like have more trips together, like you said, because we've been to like Europe together and then Asia, but when we were younger, so I want to revisit that. I think like when I was younger, like in high school, I was like, we can have kids together and then they can like fall in love.
Right.
But then now, maybe scratch that.
Yeah. Right now,
Maybe-
the
maybe no
consensus is
kids.
0 kids.
But just growing old together then and maturing and like seeing where we develop and grow, like with our careers and our lives, that'll be really exciting. My
Yeah.
goal is just to support you over the next 10 years, you know?
Yeah.
Like because I feel like the next 10 years is going to be pretty freaking significant.
Yeah, it's gonna be
You
like
know,
some really
like
heavy
big
hitting
changes,
years.
yeah, with our career and our lives and big milestones as we settle into our 30s. So just like navigating that together, I feel like staying close together is like so important. Even if we're far away, like you said, we might be in different states for the next upcoming years, but we've navigated that fine before.
Yeah,
you know?
that was fine.
Yeah,
that was easy peasy.
Yeah, like long distance friendship isn't an issue to us. Just excited.
I'm
to see,
excited too.
You know what happens, and we never know.
Yeah, you literally
You
never
never
know.
know.
Yeah. So.
Who would have thought we're here right now? Like
Yeah,
a
I
couple
know.
years ago,
In like
right?
Cold
And-
Spring.
Yeah, and living in New
upstate,
York,
Exactly. Like we never thought we would live
doing
in New
the
York.
work that we're doing.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. And who knows
So-
what we'll be doing in 10 years as well.
Yeah,
So yeah. Well,
that wraps it up.
should
I guess.
we have a hug?
The awkward like Asian. I appreciate you.
I love you too. Well, thank you so much for watching.
Yeah.
Like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.
Bye.
Or I guess our day continues. I don't know. We'll see.